dream journals are getting interesting. I had to struggle with this one for a minute to remember. Here's the best I can do with what I have. I am sitting in the living room, and it's the living room from my old house in Inkster from like when I was a kid. This was like the 70s. Wow, think about that, in the 70s. And I'm in this living room, and laying on the couch is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he's got a shotgun. Also, there's Idris Elba, but he's drunk. And I'm standing in the living room, and the goal is there's no Asia. Asia's not here for some reason. The goal here is to find and keep my daughter safe. And we're introduced to my daughter. She's maybe 15 or 16, and she's got a little sister, but I'm assuming they have different fathers because I don't know nothing about this one. And they're on the run from something. I don't know what. Like, we never really specify what they're scared of. But I do recall a time where it was insinuated that Idris Elba may have like tried to sleep with my daughter, and he was drunk, and I remember telling him I was going to look into it, and if I found out it was true, I would kill him. So somehow we end up in a restaurant, and we're sitting in a booth, and across from us, my daughter and her sister are sitting in another booth, and they've got a couple of bags with them, and they end up leaving. Wow, I almost got hit by a car. So they end up leaving, and they leave all their stuff. And now for some reason Asia is here, and they're like, well, what are we gonna do? It's like, to hell with it. It was more of a problem than it was worth anyway. Like, it was getting to be a headache. We were struggling. I can't do it. But a few minutes later, they come running back into the restaurant, and then suddenly my whole tune changes, and I'm like, she runs up to me and she hugs me, and I back her away a little, and I put my hands on her face, and I'm like, hey, this is going to be a struggle. It's going to be a lot, but let me help you. Let me take care of you. And she says, well, why would you do this? Who would stick their neck out like this? And she's crying, and I'm crying. And I remember saying, I will, because I'm your daddy. And it was just this big moment, and we end up leaving together. And while I didn't see any of the struggle that we talked about, I was left with the impression that us being on the run or whatever, or maybe it was just our living situation, but I get that it was a struggle, but it was worth it. Like, there's no indication as to who this girl's mother was, why she was so light-skinned, or why I didn't know about her for 16 years. But there was this sense of, I need to take care of you, because that's what parents do, And as far as I remember, Asia was on board with it. I don't recall us having a particular discussion about it, but it was enough where I knew Asia was on board. So yeah, my dreams they seem to be getting a lot more interesting.